Now the good news is it's not quite as foggy as it was yesterday morning. The bad news is we're kind of stuck in this foggy weather pattern, so expect more of it as dry weather holds on through the end of the week. Now this morning we've seen some spots where a little bit of that fog is precipitating out. It kind of looks like light snowflakes, and it's kind of cool the way that happens in the world of weather. Let's get to the forecast for now. Yesterday we saw some thick fog overhead, not just here but on the west side as well. Basically some dense fog since we are under that ridge and all of our moisture is getting pushed down to the ground, and then as temperatures drop it condenses and forms a cloud that's basically sitting on the ground. It's basically a stratus cloud that's just hanging out on the ground. But because temperatures are down below freezing, what winds up happening is all those little water droplets are super cooled. They're down below freezing, and as they hit something they go, "Ooh, I like it," boom, and then they freeze to it and basically become a little coating of ice. That is called rime ice, and that's what we saw yesterday. It looks similar to hoarfrost, but a completely different way in which it forms. So that is kind of cool. It's rime ice. And basically what's happening today when you get a couple of those little snowflakes coming out is those droplets are freezing to one another, and then that frozen one gets more and more of those little droplets to freeze to it, and then it falls out of the sky once it weighs enough and comes down to the ground. And that's what's giving us basically some light little what looks like flurries this morning. Coeur d'Alene looking quite nice as we start things off. Visibility improving, but still some patchy fog around much of the inland northwest as we start the day. Temperatures, I was like, did I just break that? Starting in the upper 20s and eventually climbing, but it's a slow climb today with our fog and low-hanging cloud cover that just kind of sticks around for a good chunk of the day. We're going to try to clear it out, but once again, it's not really happening, so temperatures stay in the low 30s later this afternoon. Yesterday I was really hoping we'd warm up, but it looks like we're going to stay rather cool as we head through the next few days with all this low atmospheric moisture kind of stopping the sun from doing its thing. And this weather pattern holds. There's no major storms in the forecast until we get into early next week. And this one looks to bring about a change in the weather pattern that might help get rid of some of this fog and usher in some somewhat cooler temperatures. Somewhat. Long-range forecast models say expect it to be a little bit colder, but we really haven't felt cold. I know we got down into the single digits and down near zero at the beginning of January, end of December, beginning of January. But you know what? That's not cold. We need real cold. And it's not really in the forecast. Temperatures climb into the upper 30s later on this week as we eventually start to dry out the low levels of the atmosphere. And even after we get that early week round of rain and snow, well, it looks like temperatures don't drop all that much, but hey, still something to talk about.